morning. We're live.
Good morning.
Friends, we're going to talk today about the misconception that moving abroad, leaving the country means leaving behind everyone and everything you know. And I have a very special guest today who's bringing the glamour.
Glamour. Hello, friends. Hello.
We're two people who have left the country and have not left everything behind and are not crazy lonely. So I guess we've kind of spoiled the conversation, but it's going to be a good conversation. Stick around with us. If your reason for not trying to leave the country is not wanting to leave behind everybody you know and be lonely in another place. Okay. Yeah. Hi. Welcome. Welcome, hello. Special guest. Hi, Roshida. Friends, do you know my special guest?
This is my first time on your channel.
The newness.
Hi, new friends. Hi, new friends. We're super excited, as always, to be here with you. But I get to say this because I'm a special guest today, which means I'm in charge. She doesn't know that, but I'm in charge because I'm a special guest.
That's not how guest works. First of all,
exactly how guest works. You let them do whatever they want. And what I want to do right now is tell y'all, if you haven't done it already, say hello, say good morning in the chat, and go ahead and press the like button. You're gonna like this conversation anyway. I know it.
Yeah.
So press the like button. Get it all done. The notifications. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Let's get to it because the foolishness commences ahora.
Today is a very special day for Roshida and for me. First of all, this time next week we'll be we'll be into Exodus Summit 2025. This time next week, hundreds, thousands. We're at 1,650. We have 1,650 registrations. Okay. Mm-hmm. So we'll say thousands because it's going to be at least 2,000. Black women will be in one place at one time, gathered to learn how to move abroad money. Mm-hmm. And our speakers will be speaking. The experts will be experting. The teachers will be teaching you how to make your move abroad money. This time next week, lives will begin to change. Mm-hmm. So it's an exciting time for that. Also, today is a special day.
Yes, I need to announce this because we don't normally do this, but I'm taking credit for this one because it was my brainchild. Uh-huh. Today is International Exodus Summit Meetup Day. And right now we have at least 35 meetups planned around the world. And I want to take a moment to tell you where some of these meetups are. Because it's really, we can say this, but watching it happen is wild. So there's one in Nantes, France, which I think already happened or is happening now.
Yes, they're ahead. Yes.
Playa del Carmen, London, Detroit, Decatur, Greensboro, Cleveland, Atlanta, Baltimore, Dover, Panama City, Panama, Columbia, South Carolina, Orlando, Florida, St. Louis, Missouri, Illinois, in Madison, Kansas, Conyers, Bogotá, Colombia, New York City, tri-state area, Greenville, South Carolina, Accra, Ghana, Guadalajara, Mexico, Massachusetts, Cuenca, Ecuador, New Jersey, Mexico City, San Francisco, the DMV, Southern California, Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater, Houston, Texas, the Texas Sisters always rep,
yes,
Puerto Vallarta, Brooklyn, Jacksonville, Oklahoma. And if I said Orlando, I think then that's all of them.
That's crazy. That's an amazing list.
That's crazy. It's crazy that we were like, we should do this. And then the women were like, yes, we like each other. We'd like to spend time with each other. So let's do this. Also, I have to shout out the larger Atlanta area because I think you have 3 meetups happening today. Conyers, Atlanta proper, and somewhere Stone Mountain. Or is that the Conyers one? That's the Conyers one. But there's 3 happening in the Atlanta region today. Y'all are big. Y'all rep. Yay.
So what this means is that all over the world, you heard the list, worldwide, Black women are getting together to form community and connection with each other. And these are Black women who didn't know each other. Okay. Mm-hmm. Most of these women in our Exodus Summit community are Black women who are in the process of, or at least planning some time away, whether it's full-time, like moving out of the United States or bopping around the world, or going for a few months every year and snowbirding in another country. These are women who are planning that thing and they're about to get together. So we've kind of spoiled the whole conversation because no, moving abroad, deciding to leave the United States or deciding to leave your country for a better life does not mean casting aside all of the relationships you have.
No.
And it does not mean going to a place where you are now on your own. You have no support, no network, no community, and you got to navigate life solo.
Real quick, somebody already in trouble in the chat. Somebody already in trouble. Amina says there's a meetup in Chicago, but I don't think it's on the list. Was it on the list? Did I read out Chicago?
Listen, I didn't read all that. I'm not a reader. I'm not the person who's going to read every.
I feel like she's saying Chicago too in the city, and then Marsha said Miami. I don't remember reading off Miami. Are y'all doing meetups and not putting them in the right place? Do I see Chicago on my?
Does Amina have the ability to add that?
Amina has the ability to add that in Heartbeat right now, and I bet she's doing it right now because it don't make sense.
Amina adding it to the. And if you don't see Orlando, Amina, can you also look in Slack?
Orlando should be good.
Okay.
But if there is one in Miami, I don't think we have that one either. So if there is one in Miami, Marsha, please, if you would be in Hey Summit for this to happen, not in Hey Summit, in Heartbeat for this to happen. So please message Amina with the Chicago detail, with the Miami details if there's one happening in Miami. We told y'all, make an event so we know. Otherwise, how will we know? How can we take credit for all your new friends if you don't tell us it's happening?
Okay, so after after these meetups happen, you also are required to share photos and videos. Okay, take a couple pictures, take a couple videos, share them with us. Just because we're at our own meetups, our respective meetups in Mexico City and Bogotá, doesn't mean we don't want to also be involved in your meetups. So also share some photos, find the youngest person at the meetup and make her responsible for the media. Make her the media manager of the meetup and have her take some video and some photos. Connie Perry's hosting a meetup in Dover. Somebody please help Connie Perry get us. Well, no, that's the thing. She can do that. Somebody help everyone at any meetup do these things. Yeah. If you're having a hard time getting into Heartbeat, email hello@exodussummit.com. We'll have to manually add you in, and you may still be able to do it so that you may still be able to get to a meetup today, especially if you're on the West Coast or close to the West Coast. You can still get into our community, exodussummit.com/community. You may still have time to get into the community and get to your respective meetup, the meetup that's close to you.
The Charlotte meetup is happening right now, and they're tuning in from a Charlotte meetup. Hey, y'all.
Hey, squad.
Hi. Yes. Okay. Latasha says, is the group still only on Facebook? No, we've moved off of Facebook into a private community. So Mark can't get your info. Mark can't sell you to the highest bidder. We don't like that. We didn't want that. So we moved off. It is a community that has a cost associated with it. So to join, you're required to pay a minimum fee of $1 to join the community. If you don't think the community is worth $1 to you, totally get it. We'll see you in another part of the planet. See you right here on a Saturday morning. We are we're really excited about the meetups. You can find the Heartbeat community at exodussummit.com/community. So you can still have time to get in the communities, still have time to go to a meetup if it's happening. They're happening all throughout the day. So if you joined one on like an East Coast time, it may be happening. Like the Charlotte one's happening right now. I can't call it. Right. Yeah. But next time we do International Exodus Summit Meetup Day, you'll be in there. You'll be in the number. You'll know how to make it happen. I've seen a few people say we were at 35 meetups around the world. And now I've seen some more people say things are happening that we didn't know about.
Okay.
So that's interesting. Can you delete Darla's comment?
Can we what?
Delete Darla's comment.
What did she say?
She gave a location. We don't want you sharing her location here because we don't want strangers showing up.
Yeah, delete that. So the problem is my phone. I have to use my phone to do it. I don't know how to do it on here. Can you do it on? Oh, yes, you can.
I can't. Okay. You can do it on here. I can't do it because you've never made me an ad. In the 17 years we've been together, you've never made me an admin of your channel. So I can't do it. But it can be
I'm going to delete that, Darla. I appreciate you wanting people to come, but they need to be Exodus Summit members. YouTube is public.
Right.
YouTube is public for the world. Okay.
Mhm.
So we don't want private information put on a public platform. So I deleted that. But anyone inside of the community can get that information. If you've registered for the community, but you can't access the community, please email hello@exodussummit.com. We may need to go and send you a manual invitation, technology. Nothing is perfect. Facebook wasn't perfect, neither is our new platform. So email hello@exodussummit.com. If you've already signed up for the new community and you paid your $1, and it's $1 period, not $1 per month, not $1 per year, but $1. If you've already paid your $1, you're still having trouble accessing the community, email hello@exodussummit.com. We'll send you an invitation. Yes. Now, hopefully it'll happen today. It's Saturday, and my meetup is as soon as we're done. So
my meetup's in a couple hours, so I'll be able to get on here a little bit after and do some thingy, and we should have some people in the Heartbeat now in our inbox who can help you with it. But we can't do customer service here while we're live.
No.
So please make sure you email us there because we want you at these meetups. It's why we do them.
It's why we do them. Bogotá Squad, I changed our time to noon instead of 2 p.m. I hope that's not a problem. If it's a problem, then we can go to dinner also. Okay, we can do lunch and dinner. I just was like, I'm going to be hungry. I can't wait. I can't wait.
You did so much work yesterday. You free as a bird. I'm like, I have 2 hours. And then I must come back home and do some work.
Okay.
I was not as productive as you yesterday.
Girl. So who are we? We didn't introduce ourselves. So please, friends, meet Roshida Dow. She is the co-founder of Exodus Summit. She left the Bay Area for a year abroad and has not lived back in the U.S. since. She's been in her residence in Mexico City for 6 years now. Mexico City is a place in the world that makes her feel herself and makes her feel good. And is a place where she has community and connection and support and care. So friends, please welcome Roshida Dow.
Hello, friends. Very happy to be here with you today. Very happy because like we said, it's Exodus Summit Meetup Day, which means I get to go hang out with my friends. And if you are in community in the US, in the UK, in the islands, in Ghana, wherever you are, you can also be in community with your friends. Mexico City, Bogotá, Guadalajara, all the places you want to be in community, or maybe you don't have friends, but you want to make friends at any time. This is a special day for meetups, but at any time you can create your own meetup. You can just say, hey, I want to make some new friends and create a meetup with the help of our admins in the Exodus Summit private community. And so if you're scared that moving abroad means you're not going to know anybody or you're not going to have any friends, we fix that. Done.
Problem solved.
Problem solved.
I do see that comment though every now and then. So y'all just pick up and leave everything behind, leave everyone. It's not about the things often. And you just pick up and leave everyone behind and go to a strange place. Maybe. Okay, maybe you leave everyone behind. Maybe you're just ahead of them. For some of us, you're not leaving your family is going to come. Some of y'all, they're going to follow you. Once they see how good your life is, some of them are going to follow you. You're just the first person. You're going to prepare a place. You're going to set things up for them, or, set things up for yourself, and they will be able to take advantage of some of the forework that you've done. But yeah, some of you will leave people behind in physically, not leave them behind, but some of you will be apart from your people physically. But that doesn't mean you're no longer part of that family or that friend group or that community, if you even have that. Sometimes I wonder if people who say that, like the fear thing, like the safety thing, people who are like, is it safe? Is it safe? It's because you're in a place right now where it's not safe. Sometimes I think that question about just leaving everyone behind and go to a place where you have no support is because you don't actually have support where you are. And that's why that's at the forefront of your mind. And
that's a comment. There are many comments I don't take seriously from men. Okay. But that's one of the comments I don't take seriously from men, because y'all don't even have community in your communities, right? The loneliness epidemic is staring you in the face, not me. So telling me that I'm going to go abroad and not know anybody and fail and be lonely. You lonely where you are, right? Let's work on that first. So yeah, so within the Black women community, I hear that, but for me, when I hear it, I put it in the category of those fears that you're feeling that you'll quickly realize was just some made up stuff in your brain.
Yeah.
It's just some made up stuff in your brain, right? Once you move abroad. And that doesn't mean that everybody is going to move abroad and immediately have 100 new friends, right? But it can happen. Especially if you're an extrovert, right? You don't get it. If you're an introvert, if you go to where the extroverts are, like a meetup, someone's going to be like, we're friends now.
They take you in. You don't even have to do any work. You just have to be there. They be extroverting hard, right? Just be there. Get yourself in place, right? Get in the water. I went to college in the early 90s where, now I can't remember. The Water Dance was the song. Get in, on the East Coast. All you have to do is get in the water and let them do their thing. Let the extroverts extrovert.
The Water Dance?
Throw your hands in the air and do the water dance. Yeah, get in the water. It's go-go. Do. Okay. You can hear go-go beat. This ain't
I can hear a go-go beat. I just haven't heard that one. I was like, I don't. West Coast. I don't know. I missed out on the Water Dance.
So yeah, seriously, get in the water and let other people do what they do. It's not no, that's not how you have connection and community. At some point, you need to do some things too.
Yes.
Reciprocity. So, but yeah, okay. So, first, moving abroad, leaving people behind. Did you, Roshida, did you recognize? So Roshida and I moved abroad a little strangely in that we left the United States to travel for a year and thought we were going to go back. But then you just were like, no, I'm not going. I'm in Mexico City. I'm staying in Mexico City. Y'all gonna have to figure something else out.
I'll go back to pick up some stuff. I got some stuff I want to pick up and bring back with me. And that's it. That is it.
Okay. So did this factor into did you think about this at all? Did you think about leaving behind your friends, your community, your family? Did that factor in?
Because I had spent a year, I don't know if that's fair to say. I recognize I can always hop on a plane. And now that's a privilege, right? I can get into the country where my family lives. No visa issues, right? I can afford a plane ticket. But back then, when I moved, a plane ticket from Mexico City to Miami might have been like $150, right? Maybe 200. So it wasn't like it was break the bank expensive. I didn't move to a place that was super far away, and I would have to I would want to fly business because I can't. These old bones can't be up for 18 hours in flight. No, it wasn't like that. It was like I'm going around. I don't know that I'm much further than I've been. I left home at 18 and hadn't lived in the same place as any family members after 23. Any family members at all. So between 23 and 38, when I left to travel the world, I had not lived in any place where I had a homegrown community. I had to create it all every time I moved.
Okay.
And so it wasn't even really a consideration because when I lived in Ohio, I lived in Ohio for 10 years. It was really hard to get people to visit me. Within my first year in living in Mexico, my mother visited me more in Mexico City than she had in the 10 years I lived in Ohio. More times in 1 year than the 10 years I lived in Ohio.
That's crazy.
So it's crazy. It's insane. There's something there, but we don't have to talk about it today. But very much felt like I've done this before, right? It's another country, but it's not like I live with my cousins down the block, right? That hasn't happened for me in decades, right? So it was really easy. It wasn't even a consideration. It was like, I'm going to a new place. I can get back to them. People who want to come to me will come to me. And more people come to me here than they did when I was in Ohio, right? More people come and stay with me here than they did when I was in the Bay Area because I have more room here than I did in the Bay, right? And so I'm having more of the sit on the couch with my friend from a long time ago, my really deep friend, because she's here with me in my apartment now. Like that's happening more for me now. Those kind of like really deep, intimate moments with people in your home are happening more now than they did in Ohio, in the Bay Area. And I like it.
Let's pull out a whole lot from that. So you have experience being in a new city and having to build community from scratch. But let's talk to women who don't. What can we do? Have we seen women in our community who have gone to a new place without that history? And how have they been able to integrate and find community and support? And not feel crazy lonely. We don't hear, I know, listen, there's 26,000 Black women in our Facebook group. And we hear a lot of posts. We see a lot of posts. We hear a lot of results from Black women who use the Exodus Summit resources to move abroad or go abroad for some period of time. We don't hear, I'm here and I ain't got nobody, and whoa, it's awful.
Or I'm here and everything is great. I just wish I had community. That's not something we hear either, right? We might say, I'm here and it's a whole lot of lizards, right?
Yes.
But my homegirl told me what to do, right? Like, because you have a homegirl, because you joined a community that helps you be in community.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah. So what do these women do? Even when they're not experienced at building community, what do they do to successfully build it for the first time?
I think, like I said, joining communities. There, in every place you go around the world, there's going to be groups for people who aren't from there, right? Yeah. Facebook groups, but we're gonna start small. We're gonna start with the resources we have, right? In these Facebook groups, there are going to be Facebook groups that are kind of general for anybody who wants to join them. There's going to be Facebook groups that are more specific. Like a lot of towns have brothers and sisters of Mexico City, or Black people in Vietnam group, something like that indicates who this is for. There are other groups like mom groups. I love a mom group. Not a mom, love a mom group. Moms know everything, right? You want to know how to do a thing, how to find a doctor, where to go, who has the best cookies and pies and cakes. The moms know, and they've talked about it in the group, right? I love it. If you want to know, in a lot of cities, if you want to know what's happening, where the Black people are, join the Black group, right? Join multiple groups, be in community. And then when you're in community, reach out to people. If you see someone post something, like oftentimes I'll see people make comments and I'm like, I like the way she thinks. I'm gonna try to track her down somewhere, right? That's a really good start, is just being in online communities before you move, so that when you hit the ground, you're not starting from scratch.
So Cree Girl is just moved from New York City to Guadalajara. She's saying no community yet. Cree Girl has been to at least one meetup. I've seen an Exodus Summit picture of her in Guadalajara with some other women.
Okay.
So step one, go to the meetup and get some contact information. Step two, holler at them. Yes. Okay.
Holler at. So we're going to get to that for a second, but real quick, Cree Girl, there's a meetup in Guadalajara today, right? One of our meetups is happening there. It's in the Heartbeat app or website, which you get to from ExodusSummit.com/community. Let me double check and make sure I'm not making that up, but I'm pretty sure there is a Guadalajara meetup today.
Let's see if she's the host. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know if she's the host. Let's see. She's not the host. Is she attending? Let me see. I can see real quick if she's attending. She ain't, unless she's using a different name, which she might be. Yeah. She is not confirmed as attending, girl.
Okay.
Girl.
Okay. ExodusSummit.com/community. Get in the community, go to the meetup, get the contact information. So step one, Roshida said, get in community with people. And then step two, go someplace with them. Go to a meetup, even if you have to say, does anybody want to come to this meetup? Step three, holler back. Stay and connect, stay in community with them. Y'all decide how often you're going to stay in community with each other.
It's her birthday. Happy birthday, Cree Girl.
She did.
Real quick, let me give you one detail that will be helpful. The meetup starts at 1 p.m. today, and it's in Zapopan. So get in the community, look that up. You'll see it. Can't give you more info here online, but I think that's enough to get you started.
Okay,
Yes,
she'll check. She'll check.
birthday.
Yeah. So so I'm in Bogota and I don't know people. Just on Sunday. Listen, y'all don't. I'm acting so brand new. This is my second meetup in 7 days. My second time going to a meetup because I went to the Black in Bogota. The Black in Colombia.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the Black in Colombia meetup because a third party, a woman, actually two different people, a woman and a man, reached out to me and was like, "Here's a meet. I hear you're in Bogota." Here's the meetup location and time. Come through. Michelle reached out to me 2 different times.
Ooh.
Michelle lives in Medellin. I believe she lives in Medellin, but she reached out to me 2 different times. I didn't go to the first meetup. Okay. Hermit, introverts, we understand that. I just couldn't. It was just a time, too many reasons why I couldn't go. Didn't go to the first one because they were here all weekend. And then I went to the second one. Boom.
So I want to touch on that too. Stephanie lives in a country that has a reasonably sized Black population, but they're not necessarily in the city she's in.
Yeah.
Right. They're used to seeing Black people, but it's not, a large demographic number. That's a family on the East Coast, right? Like that's that East Coast family, not the high on the water, not the mountain. They're not the mountain people, right? They're the water people. But when she was in the past week, there was a large concert. Kendrick Lamar came to town, and there was another Black People Fest. What was it called?
Negro Fest.
Negro
It's
Fest.
a traveling festival in Latin America, apparently.
So people from other parts of this country came to Bogota, and when they came to Bogota, because she says out loud, and she's in the Black in Colombia community, says, "I live in Bogota." That's why they reached out to her, right? Because she's already in the WhatsApp groups. We didn't talk about those before, but the WhatsApp groups and the other spaces where people, if she says enough, "I'm in Bogota," people are like, "Oh yeah, that lady's in Bogota," and they reached out to her. So part of getting community is saying what you want. Stephanie has said multiple times, "I want y'all to move to Bogota because I need some friends," right? The other day, I saw someone moving to Bogota. Could be unrelated. I don't know. Could be unrelated, but yay, right? Another person, Stephanie, someone inside our community, another person Stephanie can be friends with. But not too close of friends. Watch out now. Wait a minute. Because you're my friend. You're my friend. Don't forget that. Okay. So even if you're in a city that does not have a lot of Black people, there's always an opportunity to meet up in another part of the country, right? There's always an opportunity to meet up when they're coming to you or you're going to them. Because once you leave the US, it's much easier to travel within most countries than it is, like inside the country, than it is inside the US. And so going to Medellin could be a $40 flight?
Yeah, literally. Mm-hmm.
Right. So you want to go for the day, go to a concert or go to a meetup, go to a thingy, and then go back home. That's $60, $80 round trip, depending on which airline you choose.
Yep.
Right.
Or Cali. Anita said the party people in Cali. Yeah, two of the. So at the meetup, half of the people at the meetup already live in Colombia. Half just came for the festival. So 2 of the 5 people who lived in Colombia lived in Cali. 1 in Medellin. I'm in Bogota. There may have only been 4 of us. Okay, and there may have only been 4 who lived here. Yep. Yeah. So going to a community or going to a community is one way to not be without support in another country. Another way to not be without support in another country is like go to places where you can become a part of the community. This may be hard to detect, but I just go by feeling. When you visit a place, you can kind of tell, am I ever going to be able to have friends here? Am I ever going to be able to be connected here? You're always going to be the American. I don't care. And in some places, even if they're Black, you're going to be the Black American, right? I'm always going to be the Black American. I'm always going to be the gringa. I'm always going to be the person who is not from here. But in a lot of Latin America, not all, Argentina's, it exists, okay. But in a lot of Latin America, you can find places where when you get there, you know, I can be in community with people here. I remember feeling that in South Africa, even though, listen, I'm a head taller than South Africans, that I don't speak Zulu or Xhosa or whatever. I don't, they know, they always ask me, what's your mother tongue? What's your mother tongue? Well, you don't speak these languages. What do you speak? Right? Always. I knew I was always going to be an outsider, but it was also a place where I felt like I could be in community here. I could have friends here. And the Black women we see, we know Kina, we know Ashley, the Black women we know, they live in a really like connected life in South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been places where you're like, I know that you knew when you moved to Mexico City, you knew you were moving there, but have you ever been to a place where you're like, if I stayed here, I'd be on my own?
Some of the places I didn't look for community in like Morocco, but it was so hard to maneuver as a Black woman that I knew that I would never be accepted, right? I would never be one. I'd always just be a mark. Everywhere I went, I would always just be, right, somebody to get got.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree.
I think there are other places around the world where even if I wasn't like that dynamic of a lot of people are trying to take advantage of me, it's still not like, this doesn't feel like a place where I will have a ton of friends without doing a ton of work. There are places where you can kind of fall into a community.
Yeah.
And this, like Mexico City, but they're not, it's not everywhere around the world. You have to go there and feel the vibes, right? And vibes are going to be different for all of us. So you just need to get in there and see what you like, what you don't like, what works for you.
There's some places that have good vibes from the locals. There are places that have good vibes from the people who have moved there. And there are some places with both. And I think a place with both, listen, I want to tell y'all, and I also don't want to tell y'all because don't go messing it up. You know, nobody here would mess it up. So I'll tell y'all. Chiang Mai, Thailand is a place where you can be in community with local people. You can be in community with people who move there. You can be in community with Black people who move there, right? You could have a full life with care and support and community and connection. Yeah, that's one of the places. It's not the only place. A lot of Southeast Asia is kind of like that. Southeast Asian people, right? If you exclude Chinese people, Southeast Asian people were very good to me around the region. We're very kind and, you know, conversate. They like to talk. They like to chill. They like to invite you to things. I had women invite me to. One woman invited me to a restaurant and just fed me all the foods because she wanted to make sure that I knew what you eat in the Philippines. Right? Don't be here eating McDonald's. Here's what we eat here. Right. And we stayed Facebook friends and I was like, oh my gosh, your granddaughter's getting so big. Right. I knew that there were places in Southeast Asia where I could be in community, even though I'm always going to stand out.
Real quick, there's a follow-up question from Shantae that I want to touch on. And it is that about my experience in Morocco, the whole country, honestly, I went to like 6 different cities, the whole country. So is that only as a single Black woman or even as a couple or something else? I traveled with a group of 100 women from ExodUS Summit. And then after that, I traveled with my mom to maybe like 4 or 5 cities. Someone asked me about Morocco the other day, and I said, I don't know that I would ever set foot back in the country again without a man. Listen, what value? You know, that's not like me to say I need a man to do something. But Morocco, I don't know that I would do that again without a man on my side. And that might have made the experience better. But if my thought was to live there, I can't do that because I'm not going to have a man with me every day of the week, right? There's going to be a day when I need to go to the market by myself. And now you lying to me about all kinds, the experiences I had doing business were such that make me never want to spend $1 there again.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And some of that was you're a Black woman, so you're a Black woman, you're a foreigner, I'm going to take advantage of you. It was very, very clearly that. Yeah. And so, yes, if there was a reason for me to go back and there was a man I felt comfortable going back with, I could possibly do that, although I'm not in a rush to do that. Mm-hmm. But living there, nah.
That's unfortunate. Man. So unfortunate, because them riads were beautiful. They were such beautiful places to stay and
stunning.
But I agree with that same thing. That place that we stayed in, I would pick it up and take it all over the world. Just live in that house forever. But yeah, that's absolutely how I feel about it too. And I didn't even bop around Morocco. I went to Marrakesh and then left, and I feel that same way.
Wouldn't do it again.
Now Tina loves it. We have a woman in our community who lives there who loves it. So as with any location we ever talk about, see it for yourself.
Yeah.
Right? Experience it for yourself.
Yeah. Because versus having a man in Morocco just makes life easier. Yes. Yeah. But what if I want to just walk through the streets by myself? Right. Yeah. What if I don't have to, that's not something, I live in a place where I don't have to consider, am I going to be treated differently with or without a man? Mm-hmm. Right. Am I going to be treated differently when they realize my Spanish is kind of fugazi? Probably. Right. Probably they're going to be like, oh, we thought you. Okay, no, never mind. Once we get past the accent sounds good, and into the deeper complexities of a Spanish language, they're gonna be like, oh no, she's not even one of our neighbors. She's not. Mm-mm. She ain't got it. Mm-mm. And that might lead to slightly different treatment, but I've never felt it led to like discrimination or something like wholeheartedly like doubling the price or something like that. That's not what I experienced.
Yeah.
That was what I experienced in Morocco.
So we've talked about leaving people behind. Or do we talk? And then we've talked about creating community where you are. Let's talk about some things that we gladly left behind.
What would you gladly leave behind? Tell
us. Work like Americanness. A lot of Americanness really sucks, and you don't know it until you leave. Right. A lot of the ways that things operate in the United States. So the first thing I said was work, but actually I want to talk first about healthcare, because that's another thing. That's another fear that a lot of people have. I can't leave everyone behind. And what about healthcare and whatever? I was 41 when I left the United States, and I had no experience ever going to a healthcare provider and feeling like, that was helpful, except for my doctor, my regular doctor, good. But like I had a pregnancy loss, I had migraines, I had hearing problems. And anytime I went for treatment for any of the acute things, to a specialist, to a new doctor because I was in the Army, to whatever, it was horrible and so traumatic that I now have to force myself to go to a doctor, even though I'm in a place where I don't have that kind of treatment. My dermatologist hugs me when I walk in and when I leave, even though I don't get that kind of treatment now. Healthcare. I'm glad to leave behind the American approach to healthcare. I'm glad to leave behind the American prejudices in healthcare. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad to leave behind American prices for healthcare.
Yes. Anita is in the comments talking about her experience having surgery in Vietnam and how good it was.
Yeah.
And how the doctors actually talk to you and listen to you.
Yeah.
It was weird going. I'm 6 years into Mexican healthcare, right? Mm-hmm. I've been here this whole time. And when I'm at a doctor, I'm trying to rush through it. Let's go. Yeah. And then I realized, oh no, I'm the one rushing the appointment. They're not rushing me. The other day, I had an important call I had to take, and I was still at my doctor's when it happened. And the phone rang, and she was like, "I'll be back." Walked out the room, and then came back when the phone call was done. Short phone call. Came back like 3 minutes later when the phone call was done. Like, let's go. And I was like, that doctor would have booted me out. Would have been yelling at me if I was on the phone in the middle of the appointment.
No phones, no cell phone.
Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. For disrespecting his time. And she was like, I got other stuff to do. I'm gonna handle your business. I'm gonna go do something else, and I'll come back when you're done. She's like, don't worry about it. And just that, like, Like, it's a weird thing because really I should have been respecting her time, but I had an urgent thing I had to do. So I recognize that I was not in the right in that situation, but still being treated with respect when you're not always in the right in the healthcare situation is so important. Like the doctor I saw, so I've got an eye thing going on. It's a autoimmune issue. And every time I see the main doctor at that practice, he's like, "So you got a rheumatologist yet?" And I'm always like, "No." And he's like, "Okay, so when are you gonna go?" Every single time he's like, "So your rheumatologist's name is," and I'm like, "Don't have one, don't need one, I'm fine. I just come to you when I have issues." And he's like, "Okay, so you gonna get these tests, and then we're gonna send you to the rheumatologist." Like very much like the holistic, yes, I can take care of you, but there's more you could be doing. So let's make sure you do the more, right? And not even like I have a friend who's a rheumatologist, I want you to go see. It's not like that kind of thing. It's just like you could be taking better care of your health. So let's collectively take better care of your health.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
In a way that like is not offensive. In a way that's not like a money grubbing kind of way. So real quick, my eye doctor, he's a specialist, a retinal specialist. If you've ever seen a retinal specialist, you know you're gonna be in that lobby for 42 years because everybody else in the lobby is over 80. No disrespect. It's just how it is. My old doctor in the US, I would go there and they would have like 40, like the vans would come from old folks' homes.
Oh,
vans, people, and they would just be in there.
Okay.
So I'm literally waiting like 5 hours to see the doctor. This one, no wait. I come in the minute if I come in early, I gotta wait till my appointment actual time. My appointment time comes in and they're like, "Come on back." He is located in the Beverly Hills of Mexico, generally. The part, there's one street in Mexico that they call the Beverly Hills of Mexico. He paying Beverly Hills rent. I saw him this week, paid cash, no insurance, $100. I like bougie healthcare. I could get the same service for $20 somewhere. I like my healthcare real. It's the one. Healthcare and food are the places where I'm like, there's no number.
Those are the only two places, Roshida?
Mind your business.
What is she talking about?
Mind your business.
Roshida act like she's so frugal. What in the world?
I don't. But those are two things where I'm like, the number doesn't matter. Also, hotels. The number matters in hotels, but it's got to be really, really high to matter.
The list is about to keep growing. Okay, go ahead.
But yes, like I made the appointment last week and then rescheduled it at the last minute, like the day before I rescheduled it. Got in there, got seen on time, got seen by someone who's known in the city for what he does, and paid $100 out of pocket. Now, $100 for healthcare in Mexico City is expensive. That's expensive. Mm-hmm. It's expensive. I told his little receptionist, "Baby, why does it cost so much?" She knows I'm gonna come in there and complain every time I slide my card. I'm still gonna slide my card and keep it moving, right? But like, if I was seeing the retinal specialist in the US, I would have been waiting 5 hours and paying $800 for my visit.
Really?
Even with, that's without insurance. Yeah. With my copay, I was paying over $100, and that was, that's 8 years ago that I was seeing that guy. Mm-hmm. Right?
That's a pretty low copay too. Yeah.
So
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm glad to leave that behind. I'm glad to leave it behind. So I'm not here to say that people here don't have some sort of prejudices when they see a Black person or a Black woman. But it is different. It is different. They really, for the most part, they don't really think about, they're not really, I don't know. Something about being in a country in the United States, being in a country where we were brought there to work as slaves, carries over into every aspect of life, carries into every engagement with white American people, carries over. And here it's different, right? They have their own history here, and they have their own relationship between Black Colombians and white Colombians and brown Colombians. But here and in a lot of places, the Americanness, and everybody knows I'm American. It doesn't matter what you do, what your hair looks like. They know you're American. Means that I can just, kind of float apart from some of that and just live my life and walk into a doctor's office and not assume that they're going to assume something about me. Some of the treatment I've gotten, when I look back, when I tell stories about things and I look back about my healthcare experiences, I'm like, those people really didn't like Black people. Them doctors, they were really racist.
Yes. Yes.
I,
And sometimes it's really racist, and sometimes it's just a lack of concern. Like when I had surgery 30 years ago. No, 20 years, who knows? 20 years ago, we'll call it. And I got out of the surgery and I was like, I have a really high pain tolerance. But I also have a really high tolerance for medication. So like listen, I don't feel the pain, but if I feel the pain, give me all the drugs.
a lot.
And I got out of the hospital and the nurse was like, no, you can't have any more drugs. This is just drug seeking behavior. And I'm like, they cut me open. They cut me wide open. Like my body isn't in, and some of that is misogyny. Some of that is anti-Blackness, right? Like she was like, no, that's just drug seeking behavior. And I'm like, no, I'm in a tremendous amount of pain. And then she was like telling me I wasn't being nice enough to my mom. I said something to my mom. She's like, you're not being like she's not going to give me drugs because I'm not being nice enough. And I'm like, it's hard to be nice when my insides are outside, right? And you won't give me the drugs I need so I don't feel this pain. So you're trying to punish me for not acting like you want me to act. But if I was white, you wouldn't be doing this.
That's right.
If I was white, you wouldn't be doing this.
Having to go through life trying to convince people to treat you like they treat white people, it's too much. It's too much, right? Trying to convince people that, just pretend I'm white and treat me that way. We shouldn't have to live that way.
When I got here and I went to a gynecologist appointment and she was like, I want you to get this lab work. And she was like naming stuff and she was like, oh, and I want you to get your vitamin D tested because darker skins don't absorb vitamin D the way lighter skins do. And I was like, there may have been a time where a doctor ordered a vitamin D test for me, but I've never had this conversation. But it's important that I get it tested because of X. I know it factually, right? I know it through the anecdotal information and stuff online, but a doctor has never said that to me before. And I was like, so you can see that I'm Black and it factors in, but not in a negative way. Interesting.
Right.
Okay.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah. So I'm glad to leave that behind. Anything you can think of that you're glad to leave behind?
I'm glad to leave behind an unregulated nervous system that had no chance of regulation. Okay. Right? I mention this every day when on something, I don't remember. We've been talking. I used to work for BMW. And one of the perks after a certain level of whatever management was that they would just give us cars. Here are your car keys, go, right? So one day I got in a new red convertible Z4 with a little two-seater. No license plates. Whatever. And I took that thing out on the highway and I was making it do what it do. Here come a cop. They pulls me over and I'm pulled over. And so I don't have license plates. I don't have any proof that this is my car. I'm in the county that we're locally headquartered in. Okay. So there's a very good chance that they pull over BMWs all the time. Right. There are hundreds of us out here with cars. They should have a good idea. But if it's someone who doesn't, right? I have no proof that this car is mine. It's not in my name. It literally just says BMW Financial Services. It has no plates. If the woman put the registration in the glove box, because I didn't even check. I just took the keys and was like, mistakes were made. I pulled over, and all the time I was pulling over in my brain, I kept telling myself, this is not how I die. This is not how I die. This is not how I die. This is not. Mantra on repeat. just at a traffic stop.
Mm-hmm.
This is not how I die. This is not how I die. This is not how I die. And it wasn't. Right?
Yeah.
But like not having to tell myself that,
Mm-hmm.
right? Not having to consider that is really freeing, right? It's really freeing to know that I interact with cops all the time here, even when they don't want to. I'd be like, no, I would like some help, please. Hi, excuse me, my favorite is, excuse me, I have a question, right?
Mm-hmm.
I live close to the police station. I see them all the time. I look them in their eyes and I'm like, hello, you know me. You go, if anything pops off, you know me all the time. I'm not avoiding them. My heart doesn't race like it used to when I see them. I'm like, hey, every time y'all all in formation at roll call, you see me. And it's just such a different thing. And it applies now to when I'm in the US, like I don't like driving. I don't like behind the wheel of a car, right? I don't like walking. I don't like interacting with anybody. I don't like being in the US because the regulated nervous system that I have in all the other countries around the world gets dysregulated when I'm in the US, right? That fear creeps in of like, is this person in traffic? Do they have a gun? Last I remember driving in Florida, maybe about 2 or 3 years ago, and someone tried to get in an accident with me on purpose. Yeah. Like there was no, like they were really trying to get some insurance money or something. They tried to get an accident on purpose. And I was like, there's other ways to scam. Right? One of us could die. Yeah. But you are so interested in getting over that doesn't matter to you.
When your niece, so Rashida's young adult nieces came down and hung out with you in Mexico City and did some hanging out on their own without you. Mm-hmm. Did you have to give them any talking to about how to navigate?
The talking to I gave them was this market that you want to go to is really, really close to a market that is traditionally known as not so safe. There's like a craft antique market that happens, but it also happens near the market where people drink from like 9 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Okay.
And no one goes there except for locals. And so it would be really easy to wander into that place. And I was like, I don't want you going to this market because they're kind of connected and you won't know when you've left one and gone into the other. And this one is kind of a maze and a trap. You have to know, I could go there without a tour guide now. My first time there, I went there with a local person to take me around and show it to me. So I was like, I don't want y'all going to that market. Other than that, I don't care. Do whatever. Y'all 23 and y'all are together. Now at 2:00 when they weren't home, I was like, where them phones at? I don't track anybody's location. But I was like, give me your location. Thank you, friends. Where are you? Okay, I see where you are. I'm getting messages like we're on our way home. Okay, I hear them at the door. All right, I can go back. I'm texting mama. It's 3 a.m., but they're home. Done. Right? No concern. Maybe I told them not to drink in public, but what would they be doing drinking in public? Like drink on the street, right? It's not a thing we do here. It's not legal. Mm-hmm. So a cop will stop you for that. And if I don't like saying that the cops are all corrupt because that's just not accurate. Mm-hmm. But if you run into the wrong cop and you're breaking the law in the middle of the night, you might have to pay a little something to get out of it.
Yeah.
But you're not going to get disappeared in prison, right?
Yeah. Can you imagine the conversation, the talking to you would now have to give to Mexican young adults coming to the United States or Black kids who are not from the US? What kind of talking to you need to give to them today to live, to survive that environment, and how unhumane that is?
I gave that talking to someone last week when I was in Querétaro. My Uber driver was talking about how he's in aeronautics school, I think, to learn how to build planes versus school in Querétaro. And the best choices for career-wise are the US, Canada, or Mexico, because that's where US, Canada, or France. That's where 3 of the best companies are, like Boeing and whatever. And I was like, France or Canada?
Yeah.
France. I was like, France. Just go to France. You can go to France. Go to France. Don't go. And he's been to Canada and he's been to the US before. I didn't realize at the time I was talking to someone who came from some money. He's driving Uber, but he comes from there's some money there.
Uh-huh.
Upper middle class at the minimum. And white-ish, right? Not white, but white-ish.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm afraid, and he's been to the US before, so he had some experiences. And I think he thinks it's like what it was like before. And I'm like,
right.
It's not. And you're white-ish, but white-ish isn't enough.
No.
Right?
Not with that accent. Not with that accent.
At the end of that accent, that is not white-ish is not enough to save you. And he said, you know, another passenger was saying the exact same things to me the other day. And I'm like, at least you listen. I don't know that he's listening, but at least he's hearing us say it's not safe. It's physically not safe. I had to give that thought. And he's like 25, somewhere between 25 and I would say 29. And I'm telling him,
yeah,
baby boy, you're not a baby boy, but like, it's not worth it. If you can go somewhere else to do the same thing,
yeah,
go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Disney World is not worth it.
Do we friends in the chat, do we recognize when Roshida says regulated nervous system, do we know what that means in your own life? Can you recognize ways in which your nervous system is responding to your unsafe environment or your toxic or unhealthy environment, and ways that it might be different if you were in a more healthy, less toxic, more safe environment? Do y'all have an idea? I think I didn't realize how much of my, I don't want to say like day, but I didn't realize how much energy it took me to convince people to treat me well, or just ignore me or whatever. My analogy is living around white American people is like driving down the road with deer at night. It might be no problem. It might even be, interesting, right? But you need one nervous deer to wreck your shit. And so I didn't realize until I left and didn't live around them anymore how much of my energy went to, it's okay, just be still. Small things. I like to look in mirrors when I walk past a reflection. I like to look at myself. And I had to train myself to stop looking in car windows because I'm just looking at me. I'm not looking in the car. But I don't be walking down the street, Stephanie, looking in car windows, because you might make that deer very afraid and they might wreck your shit. Mm-hmm. And, it's just over and over. A lot of trying to placate people. I don't know what that noise is. I don't know if you can hear it. Trying to placate people that does not have to happen in other places. That's my nervous system thing, right? I've been a consistent pooper and a good sleeper. For me, the thing is the idea of having to do some extra stuff to make sure that people feel okay, having to keep that receipt in my hand. I'm not walking out the store without the receipt in my hand. You're going to see this receipt, right? That kind of thing that I don't have to do anymore. It feels nice.
I was leaving a store the other day and the woman handed me a receipt and I was like, no, don't worry about it. And she was like, girl, please take this receipt. And I was like, I know I'm not going to have no. I remember I was like inside of a store inside of a larger place. And I think she was like, just in case, right? Just in case you hit the door, take your receipt. As there was a problem because they have security, whatever. Security has clocked me from the minute I walked in this door. They see me. They're not bothering me. But I am the only Black person in this place. Security sees me. They see me at the register paying right now.
Yes.
I'm good.
That's
They're
right.
not tripping. They're not tripping, right? And okay, so shopping, and I don't know if you guys are doing this in the US. I would not do this in the US. I don't use a cart when I go to the grocery store now. Because I walk to and from a grocery store while I'm ordering stuff. Or from Costco, I use a cart. But the regular grocery store 2 blocks away, I bring 2 or 3 shopping bags. I put the things in my shopping bag as I'm going. Mm-hmm. And when they get too heavy to carry anything else, shopping's done. Right?
Is that how you do it?
That's how I know. shopping is done because this bag is heavy. And I never have a thought about, is someone going to say something to me about taking this thing off the shelf, and putting it directly in my bag? It is not a concern. It is not a consideration. Ain't nobody ever said nothing to me because they know I'm going to slide to that cash register, empty out the bag, and then put the stuff back in. Every time I go to the grocery store, I don't think I would do that in the US. I wouldn't just take something off and put it in a bag.
I never.
I'll put things in my purse because
Mhm.
I carry a large purse, right? Large foldable purse. I'll put something in my purse. Like if I got a can that won't fit in this bag, I'll put it in my purse, go to the cash register, put it back in my purse when I pay. It's a different feeling, right?
Mhm. There's so many things that you do as Black people in the United States that we sometimes can't even recognize it. But it's all of it is so that we can be treated a little bit more like a human, a little bit more like they treat other white people. Treat me like you treat them is a thing. We shouldn't have to say those words out loud. But yeah, there's so many small things. If I was to bring somebody to a black or brown person to the United States, there are so many different points in the day that I would have to stop them and be like, don't do that. Whatever that thing is that you're doing, don't do that. It means that those are the points in your day, every day, where you're on edge, where your body is feeling the result of that or the impact of that over and over and over and over and over again. So we have a couple of things to help your nervous system coming up inside of Exodus Summit 2025. You may have gotten an email today.
Did you send an email? I thought we were
sent an
announcing
email
it here.
today. If not, but it's still an announcement because y'all don't open your emails.
Open our emails, y'all. It helps with the email open. If you open the emails, it's more likely that other people will see the emails and they won't be in spam. So we get emails from us, please open them.
So let's announce a couple, the things that are happening inside of Exodus Summit 2025 for you, Black women, for your nervous system, for your well-being, for your spirits. What's happening, Roshida?
Okay, so a thing happened because y'all stay up. The thing I love about Exodus Summit community is you know what you want. And you gonna tell us in live streams, in DMs, in emails, what you want.
Yeah.
The other thing we like about the community is the women in our community like giving to the community. So I'm gonna let y'all get in the chat and guess at this one. But a community favorite is coming back to the summit this year because y'all will not leave us alone about her. Can you guess? If you haven't read the email, if you read the email, you don't get to guess. But can you guess, if you haven't read the email, who this community favorite is? Because y'all stayed on our neck about it.
Fan favorite.
Fan favorite.
We couldn't have a conversation with y'all being like, I don't see her on the schedule.
What time is she going to be on? And we were like, it's not even that kind of summit this year.
Excuse me. Tell me what time her session is.
And Octavia Rahim is back to do a rest session with us on the 12th?
Yes,
the 12th.
Which would be Sunday.
Sunday the 12th, she's going to do a rest session with us in the happy hour spot. She's not kicking off the summit like we've done in the past because we have a keynote this year. This year we're starting with keynote this year. This year she's doing it October 12th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Nope.
Oh, I put 5 in the email.
5. It is right. 5. Yes, we have 7 p.m. Eastern time on the 12th is Exodus After Dark. Those are 2 different sessions.
Okay.
We are going straight from Octavia Rahim, helping us regulate our nervous systems into Exodus After Dark. We're talking to an OnlyFans creator.
If Octavian didn't know before, she knows now that the women of Exodus Summit love her down and do not want any activity happening where she is not invited and featured. So Octavia's session is part of a happy hour that any level of ticket can attend. Exodus Summit 2025 is online October 10th through 13th. which is this time next week, right? And any level of ticket can attend the happy hour sessions. Octavia's session is a rest session. And what she does with us during the session is a thing that people like to go and watch over and over and over. She's always one of the most replayed speakers at Exodus Summit. And so go ahead and mark that on your calendars. So it's still not on the schedule. It was confirmed yesterday, and it's a thing I forgot to do. I forgot to put it on the schedule. One of us will get it up on the actual calendar today. It just says happy hour now on those 3 days, but it's happening.
October 12th.
Yeah, because so the happy hour, any ticket level, ExodusSummit.com. If you're not registered yet, this is another session, even though it's a happy hour and it's not a speaker session getting you to the money, it's another session that's worth the ticket price, because having Octavia Rahim rest you, which is how I describe, having her put you down for a little bit and get you rested and regulated, is worth the ticket price all on its own. It's worth it. Yes. Her session is on Saturday during the happy hour spot.
Yes.
Sunday. I beg your pardon. Sunday during the happy hour spot.
Yes. Okay. And then on Saturday, backing up a bit, I tell you Octavia first, because I know y'all was going to be in the chat saying, what about? Saturday, we have a new community member, someone who's, I think, moving to Jamaica today.
Oh.
Not sure I was supposed to spill that.
Well. See how easy?
Well.
I won't judge you, because we've all.
we all fall.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Saturday, October 11th, we have well-known yoga personality, community member, leader, guru, studio owner, goddess, spiritually fly, also known as Faith Hunter, coming in to lead us in a movement practice on Saturday. I'm someone who has taken Faith's class in a studio before. I know she's one of the Black yoga OGs. As a yoga teacher, having her here means a lot to me, because she's someone I've looked up to for 15 years now, right? Like a long time. And so this is like having her enter our community and like weave this thing where like someone I look up to is now someone I work with. It's really special for me. And so I'm hoping that you guys will be really excited. I see some comments. Some people in the chat are like, yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm gonna you carry on. Somebody's ringing my doorbell.
Okay, I got this. Okay, so that is Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern time. So it's not gonna be, I don't expect it to be like a, hot yoga type thing. I think we're gonna have some mindful movements. We can call it a mindful movement on Saturday, with Faith's calming presence. Should be leading us. And then, I'm so excited about this. And then on the 13th at 5 p.m., same thing, everyone can attend. And any ticket level can attend any of these happy hours. We call them happy hours, but you can tell they're all about, like, I wanted to make sure this year, because there's so much going on in the US, I wanted to make sure that everyone had opportunities that felt right for them in order to help regulate their nervous system, right? We're not doing some of the high energy things we've done before. We're doing more like calming things, because we need to breathe. We need to woosah. So on Sunday, Desiree Parkman, who's come in before and taught before, is back, and we're going to be working on some money mantras and some things, what's the other word?
Manifestations.
Yes. Meditations.
Okay.
Meditations, mantras, manifestations. We're doing all that on Monday, the 13th. we're doing this from top of our head, y'all. Sorry. Monday the 13th at 5 p.m. Once again, everyone will be able to attend. And so we're super excited about what that's going to look like for all of us, between the rest practice, the yoga, movement practice, and the meditations. We think it's a great addition to Exodus Summit this year that will really help you incorporate some of the teachings you're getting.
I agree. Listen, Black women who love Black women, Black women who love to be in community with other Black women, love to come to Exodus Summit because they love to be able to share their gift, their knowledge with you. So it's important that you be there, okay? It's important that you come to Exodus Summit 2025. Okay, this is going to look off topic, but we're talking money manifestation. Roshida kind of resembles Regina King. I have been manifesting a friendship with Regina King, so I think I may be turning Roshida into Regina King. I want Regina King to be my friend. So this is probably my doing. This is a manifestation come to life because that's what I've been working on.
Okay. I will. Let me get in my Regina King bag and see what I can do.
Exodus Summit 2025 has the theme of more move abroad money, and you get your ticket at ExodusSummit.com. When you go to the website, you'll see the sessions that are happening. You'll see the Black women experts who are coming in to teach you how to make a particular amount of money. So we see a comment from, I saw a comment earlier. I wish I could. Yeah, Erica De Niro. I just want to snap my fingers and be in Mexico. For most of us, the finger snap happens once you are making money in a way that can carry you into your new life.
And you feel confident in, right? The fingers, you need to feel the confidence in, what it's going to cost you. We talk about that, what it's going to cost you and what you're going to have. Once you get those two,
finger snap.
To anywhere.
You in Mexico.
You want to live in Montevideo? Go. Yeah. You know the numbers.
Yes. So let our speakers, let our experts come and teach you how to solve the money problem. We have sessions for those of you who have some know-how, have some intellectual ability, some intellectual property, or want to create some intellectual property so that you can take what you know, take what's already in here, put it out into the world for money. We have a session on premium course creation. Jacqueline V. Twilley. We have that's Dr. Sonia Murray. We have a session on memberships and paid community with Arlen Hamilton, world famous investor and what's the other word? Venture capitalist. World famous Arlen Hamilton is doing a session on memberships and community, paid memberships and community, how to take the thing you know how to do, create a membership or a community around it for money. Some of you are already doing that for free, right? The sessions in Exodus Summit 2025 that are for the people who have something in your head, you want to get out in the world for money, go ahead and register at ExodusSummit.com. We also have a vein of a track. They're unofficial tracks. We have a track for those of you who want to start a business, but that is kind of has a low barrier to entry. Maybe for a premium course, you need to know how to do something, right? Some lower barrier to entry sessions in Exodus Summit 2025 include virtual assistant work. I know it's a low barrier to entry because that's how I started, right? Being a virtual assistant out in the world, being able to be someone's assistant on the computer, whether it's you open their emails, you arrange and schedule their YouTube guests or their podcast guests, or virtual assistants can do a variety of things. You schedule their travel, right? The virtual assistant session, and then the tax preparer session. Those are sessions that are going to help you if you want to start some sort of business that's going to fund your life abroad and you're not sure what it is yet.
The session. Oh, so I talked about knowing your money. I'm going to be giving a session, hosting a session, a session, inviting you to a session. Words,
all of that,
all of that. About how to figure out how much it's going to cost you, because that's the other half of the equation, right? Making money is important, but knowing what your new life is going to cost you is also really important. Your new life is going to cost you less than your old one. Period. I can confidently say that for 99.5% of the women, right? My new life doesn't necessarily cost me less than my old one, but it's because
she likes to spend money on only two items. There's only two times in her whole life that she just is like, put it in the bag.
Put it in the bag. But it could, right? It could cost me less than I was paying for rent in Oakland to live all month long in Massachusetts. Stephanie making me go on vacation with her, so fortunately, that's not the way it's working out for me right now. But it could cost me less, right?
That's right. A whole life in Mexico City, less than just rent in Oakland. That's also a pretty common thing. It's pretty common for a lot of people from the U.S. to move abroad to a place where their whole life costs less than just their home payment, rent or mortgage, where they came from. Absolutely. So Rashida's session on knowing your numbers. Some of y'all think you're moving, some of it, pardon me, menopause, I'm dried out. I need a lot of things. Some of you think your move abroad is going to happen in 2027, 2028. No, girl. Rashida's session is going to speed up that timeline for some of you, because you're going to sit down with her and actually figure out, how much money do I actually need for this new life abroad? What are my numbers? And then pair that with one of the other sessions on making money, and you'll be like, oh, it's go time.
Go time.
Go time. My doorbell rang because of support that I have in this building. I've been in this building since mid-July as a renter. And my Spanish, it seems to be regressing. I feel like my Spanish is getting worse. Mostly I just talk to my security guards every day. I try to say an extra beyond hello and good afternoon, a little extra to the security guards every day. My Spanish is getting worse, but somebody in this building gave my apartment number to her housekeeper because she knows that I'm new. Somebody in the building knows that I'm new. Hello, Miss Stephanie. I'm Daisy. I want to offer you my cleaning service. Here's my phone number. Thank you. I'll be waiting. Right? She said so. I don't know the name. I don't know the name of the person that gave her my number. Somebody in the building gave her my number. Support.
And the sense that like your non-Black neighbors aren't wondering, how does she afford to live here? And I don't want to share my cleaning lady with the Negro down the hall. And why would she even need help? She lives by herself. Like they're not putting the she's Black, she needs no help, or she's Black, she should be the help thing on you, right? They're like, she got all them 17 bedrooms, she gonna need some help. Let me send Daisy over.
That's right. That's right. Listen, I know we keep telling you that, but it really does. It really feels different. I'm sure there are places in the world where you could move to where people would be like, she's Black, she should be the help. But you're not moving to those places. We're not going to those places, right? We're moving to places where people are like, oh, you're one of us. You're in the community now. On the elevator, I saw a family the other day that I'd never seen before. I'd never seen any children in this building. And then finally I saw a family with maybe a 7 or 8 year old in the building. And I was like, hola, vecinos, right? Hey, neighbors. And they were like, hey, neighbor, whatever. I guess they probably heard that I existed because I am the only Black person in this building so far, right? But there are places where you will go and you will be in community with those people instead of having to guard yourself against those people. Some of you right now are thinking about keeping an eye on particular houses in your neighborhood, because I do it when I walk around my parents' neighborhood. So-and-so, one lady was in the Trump cult, girl. She was in the cult, but she seemed to have taken herself out, because now when you go to her house, there's fewer signs and there's just she's still, anyway, she took the Trump flag down. But anyway, there are people in your neighborhood that you're keeping an eye on. Whereas you could be in a place where you can go to a neighborhood and be in community with the people and know that they are going to holler at you. And if they know you don't know something, they're going to let you know, instead of, why are you here? You don't belong here. Let me call the cops on you, whatever.
I live in a really big building, and so there's always strangers. Even people who've lived here years, I've never seen you. If we don't take the elevator, the same elevator at the same time, and the same elevator bank, I'll never see you. And the other day I was walking in my building, and this man, whitish Latino, was like, "Hey," and it was a very familiar "hey," and I was like, why is this man speaking to me? And then I realized it's a guy who trains people in my gym all the time. They call him Coach. I didn't realize he lived in the building. But he sees me in the gym all the time, so he knows I live in the building. So if he sees me, he's like, "Hey, friendly neighbor," right? The other day I was in the gym, I was doing something, he clapped for me, and I was like,
"Oh, what did you do? Tell us what you did."
I think I was doing like hamstring curls, but he liked the weight or something. I don't know. Because I'd moved the weight up from what his person was doing. He was like, yeah.
Nice.
And it's like being seen in a way that you're not a threat, right? Not having to keep my eye and remember who all of these different people are. Like, is this one of the friendly ones or one of the unfriendly ones? Right? My neighbor's smiling at me, whether they mean it or not, I don't really care. Right? Always getting a hello and a goodbye when I get in the elevator, because why would you not? You have some home training, right? But just the idea that I have neighbors who there are at least 2 Black women in this building, but I'm one of the 2 Black women in this building, and they know me and recognize me, and it's not a problem that I'm here. It's like a friendly neighbor situation. It's nice. It's really nice to not have to worry about, is this person racist? Which anti-Blackness is everywhere, and I think we're going to talk about that in a little bit, because there's something I saw a comment you starred. The anti-Blackness is everywhere, yes, but how does it impact my daily life? My neighbors aren't going to call the police on me because they see me in the building and they don't know who I am and I'm probably breaking and entering, right? My neighbors aren't going to call the police on me because I got off on the wrong floor because I feel like taking the stairs up or down instead of the elevator. My neighbors aren't tripping. My neighbors aren't calling because the music is loud or because anything. They're not calling because neighbors are
the music is loud.
It's me like, damn, okay, all right. So I go to our balcony sometimes to figure out who's having the party. Is it up, left, down, right? Where is the sound coming from? I live in a place where people police themselves and leave everybody else alone.
Yeah.
And that adds to the regulated nervous system I talked about. My neighbors, no one's gonna pull a gun on me. No one's gonna be like, you looked in this, my apartment door was opening, you looked in, so now I gotta shoot you in the head. No one's doing that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Girl, so Bogotá is relatively quiet for a Latin American city. The neighborhoods that I've stayed in a handful of neighborhoods, except for the traffic noise.
Mm-hmm.
The people seem to be quieter than usual. But girl, right across in the building right across from me, they had a live band perform in their apartment all night.
Was it our neighbors that we want to go make friends with, or was it somebody else? The ones with the balcony?
Next door. So yeah, that's right. If it had been them, I wouldn't have thought to go, but I should have gone and knocked over the door.
If it was them, you should have knocked on the door. We have people we want her to be friends with. They have a party space. So.
They have a humongous outdoor patio. Yes. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Next door to them, next door and one up, they had a full-on live band perform inside of their apartment all night long. Right. Mm-hmm. This is not, these places are places where, right, like Roshida, that's a good way to put it. They police themselves. They mind their business by doing the right thing themselves, and they don't look out and be like, what are you doing? That's a very American thing. I don't know, it's the only American, but it's a very American thing to be like, I'm in charge of you. It's very slave master or whatever, cracker. It's very cracker. Cracker is somebody who cracks the whip, in case you don't know. It's a very cracker activity that I have not seen other places. I've done some things, you don't know what you're doing sometimes and you mess up. I have not seen somebody come out of the bushes talking about, don't do this, or what are you doing, or let me call somebody. That's not how people operate in other places. So it would be nice if you would live in one of those places, friends, and live like that.
Mm-hmm.
Keisha Ducree says, this week, Lovey Ajayi posted a Facebook critique of Black folks moving abroad and talking about it. I would love to see you two respond.
Did you see it? I saw it. Did you see it?
I did.
Okay. I didn't really have any feedback for what she said. She said she doesn't like the way some people talk about moving abroad and talk about people who aren't moving abroad. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what she's seeing, so I can't comment on that. But I want to comment on the comments. And most of the majority of the comments I saw were anti-Blackness is everywhere, so it don't even matter where you go. And I was like, anti-Blackness in Mexico might mean the other day when I was leaving my doctor's office, I was leaving, the entryway is very small, and a woman was typing on her phone. And I said, "Con permiso, excuse me." And she did not acknowledge me. She did not move. She did not anything. She's all dressed up, kind of out of place. Now I'm gonna give you one time, and then I'm gonna bark on you because you're blocked. Like the only way for me to get through you right now is to body check you. I don't touch you, right? Mm-hmm. So I said it. I raised the volume a bit, and she moved. She wasn't looking at me, so I don't even know if that was anti-Blackness or just selfishness and rudeness. Uh-huh. But what's not going to happen is she's not going to shoot me. She's not. If I body checked her, I'm not going to end up in prison, right? I'm not going to end up dead at the side of the road because anti-Blackness is built into every aspect of the government and every system of life, mm-hmm. right? Yes, racism is everywhere. Anti-Blackness is everywhere, but how it impacts you is different outside of the United States, outside of where you are originally Black. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
If you have it's a privilege, but if you have some foreign Blackness,
yeah, generally
it is better than being native Black. Generally, some places, Paris, that's depending on where you're coming from, these can be challenging all over the place. But the idea that anti-Blackness is global, so it doesn't make sense to move anywhere else. I was like, I'm not jumping in here because the Matrix has got you.
That's another thing I'm glad to leave behind in the United States: the resignation, the learned helplessness, it is what it is. I'm glad to leave that behind. Mm-hmm. Pick up your feet and live the life that you want in a place that you want. Mm-hmm. And listen to the experiences of other people. Why are you discounting everyone's experience when we say we live in these places and we live better and people treat us better and we feel better and we look better? Mm-hmm. Right? Why is that so discounted? Why does that not matter? That's learned helplessness. Mm-hmm. Right? It's absolute resignation instead of agency. Some of the Lovey Ajayi is very Black excellence, and some of the very Black excellent women, right, are the most resistant to agency, to living the life that you want. They're very on track according to Black excellence, and very off track let me calm down. Very off track according to living the life that you want.
Yeah, like I said, I was curious about what she saw that made her make the post, because people speak strongly about a whole bunch of things. So what it was about this that I'm going to say triggered, even though that might not be the right word, triggered her to make a post about leaving abroad, felt a little defensive. And I was like I said, I don't know what you saw. So I can't speak to why she's writing this, but the comments were most of the comments, like I said, were heartbreaking. Very much. It's terrible everywhere. And they're going to fail. It's terrible everywhere, and they're going to fail and come back to the U.S. When their kids get sick, they're going to end back in the U.S. Let something bad happen and get back to the U.S.
That's the exact time when nobody's coming back.
Okay.
Not coming back. Not coming back to U.S. healthcare. There is something that irritates me about being a person with a large platform and knowing the country is failing and knowing that fascism is rising. It irritates me to then decide that you're going to hang your shingle on. I don't like these Black people who move abroad and talk about moving abroad, and I don't like the way that they talk about it. That's a choice. That's a choice. There are people who want Black people to stay in bondage because they're white identified, just like there are Black women who are very male centered and they want Black women to be subservient to men. There are Black people, I don't know that lady, but there are Black people who want Black people to stay in a bad situation because they view whiteness as superior. So if you hear anybody, there are things that I hear people say where I'm like, I'm checked out. You don't have to worry about me listening to you ever again. One of those things, especially if you're a single Black, let me run through the list. If you're a single Black woman and you're encouraging Black women to date American Black men, right? I'm not talking about the married women because they don't know any better. They don't know what it's like out here in the dating streets. But if you're single and you're actively telling Black women, you need to date Black men and you need to be married to Black men and Black love and this, you don't like Black women. Okay. If you're telling Black women today that it's our responsibility to fix democracy and fix the country, let's move to some places and fix the numbers and make it more democratic, you don't like Black women. And if you're saying we need to, we need to stay here, you don't like Black women. I'm checked out. I'm over it. Thank you. Rashida's like, move on. You want me to move on?
Not at all. Not at all. I think it's a very valid conversation. I do think I hadn't thought about the values you're committed to individually, because I don't. The wise words of Gucci Mane. He said, "You're either with me or against me, or you're in my way."
Okay.
And I spend a lot of time with the people who are with me. I don't acknowledge the people who are against me because.
Okay.
And the people who are in my way, I'm just going to creep past you or go over you, right? I spend a lot of time with people who are with me. And so I don't necessarily think about the train of thoughts of the other people.
Yeah.
And so I hadn't thought about the fact that people who are critiquing others moving without, I will say that I don't feel like what she said was very, it wasn't unbiased, right? There was clearly a biased opinion there.
Yeah.
And so if you're critiquing that, people moving abroad and how they talk about it, when who knows why they're talking about what they're talking about, the way they're talking about it.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about what mindset that is hooked into, because that's not
okay.
I saw all them comments and I was like, y'all can have that. I'm not jumping in the comments. I'm not doing anything because I'm not trying to change anyone's mind. If you are with me, I'll throw you on my back, right?
Uh-huh.
And I'm gonna help. We're gonna sled down the hill, whatever we're doing this together. Mm-hmm. If you're against me, you don't exist. If you're in my way, I'm just gonna move around you. That's just what it is for me. Yeah. And so, I hadn't thought about those mindsets and why someone would do that.
Read the timing. It's okay to have thoughts, but when you have a humongous platform and you put those thoughts out online at such a time as this, you have an agenda, right? You have an agenda. This is not, she didn't say this in 2016. When was Obama president? Whatever, right? She said this in 2025, when the country is actively failing, when they're just kidnapping people and imprisoning people
in the city she lives in.
In her city. I didn't know where she lived. I assumed she lived in Atlanta because she's very Black excellence.
Chicago.
No offense to y'all who live in Atlanta, but you know I don't like that.
Pretty sure it's Chicago.
Right? That timing matters. This goes back to the idea of having a platform with Black women, but not being in community with Black women. I think this is a result of that. This is very similar to the other lady who was talking about jobs and Black women at a time when Black women were forced out of the workforce intentionally, right? If you're in community with Black women, you can't be that off base. It's not possible. And so some of our Black women faves out here on the internet do not have friends who are Black women, and they're not in community with Black women, and their business partners and their business employees and their agents and their attorneys, they're not Black women. And so they're just freaking wrong. They're off base, they're out of touch, and they're wrong. And, you ain't got to worry about that here. Rashida's my business partner. Amina and Francis, they're here in the chat, right? That's Exodus Summit. That's the Exodus Summit team. I don't think it's possible for us to be that off base and that wrong because we're in community with Black women and we're about to go meet up with Black women. I think I should take this back to the original topic.
Yes.
At the Exodus Summit. But that's how I feel. Some things make me mad. Most things I don't, water off a duck's back. But there are some things, and when it makes me mad, it makes me mad. And how dare you, right? This is the day that you're going to plant your flag in the I don't like Black people talking about moving abroad. I don't like the way they talk about it. That's an agenda, and that's a choice. And that's white supremacist ideology. And that's keeping us on the plantation. And I don't like it. So the Exodus Summit community is doing International Exodus Summit Meetup Day. If you want women in your bubble, in your circle, in your world, who are thinking about things in this way, instead of it is what it is, I'm going to stay and, fight for this country. If you want to talk to some women who are working on things in a different way, you're invited to join the Exodus Summit community at exodussummit.com/community. And you may be able to meet up with some women from the Exodus Summit community today. There are meetups happening all over the country, in some other parts of the world even. And you may still have time to meet up today. Go to exodussummit.com/community. The fee is $1. It's not a Facebook community anymore. We're on a paid platform. $1, one time, minimum fee. And then join a meetup. Mm-hmm. Disney Girl Tinkerbell says, a couple of weeks ago, I connected with a wonderful sister from Exodus Summit named Mavis on Virgin Voyages cruising around. What are the chances?
They are better than you think. Let me tell you. About 2 months ago, the Dave Cause cruise left maybe Lisbon and went somewhere else in Europe.
Okay.
And I was like, someone who isn't normally in Lisbon was in Lisbon, and someone else was talking about the cruise. And I was like, I think two Exodus Summit sisters about to be on a cruise together. Mm-hmm. I sent a message. Now here we go. Connections, right? You're everywhere. You just don't know it.
Yeah.
Right? You are the Dave Cause cruise. You're everywhere. Your sisters are everywhere. And that's why we love doing meetups, because you can get out there and meet them and find them. But you see a Black woman somewhere traveling, wear your Exodus Summit shirt when you get on a plane.
Put your shirt on. Put your shirt on.
Your sister's going to find you. Wear it on the cruise one day. Your sister going to be like, hey, sis. And that's how you get in community.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. Yeah. Chances are actually pretty good. Mm-hmm. You would just bop around. Do you recall the last time? So, and being in Mexico City is different because you have, there are so many Exodus Summit women there who live there. But can you remember the last time you had a stranger be like, oh, I'm in Exodus Summit. I'm in your community.
Querétaro, but it makes sense because it was a meetup with Felicie and Rick from Our Black Utopia. I can't think of it. It's been a while. It happens, but it's been a while.
Pretty much anytime I'm in an airport lounge, somebody comes up to me.
Yeah, I don't get that. You always get that in lounges. I never get it.
Flying here. it was probably flying here because it's almost every time. I just make sure I get up and walk around the lounge, do a lap.
Okay, so people can see you?
So you can see me.
Okay.
So that you can come over and say hi.
Mhm.
Like pretty much every time I'm in the lounge.
Amina said, I met an Exodus sister while we were getting docs apostoled. I was Black woman getting docs. She said, let me check. Yes. And we have merch this year. So do you have a merch link?
ExodusSummit.com/merch.
ExodusSummit.com/merch. If you want a sticker, if you want a t-shirt, you want a sweatshirt, I need to get my hoodie. Yes, it's all out there.
I see somebody saying we should get pins. We don't have pins.
Yes, Andrea's here. She met her Exodus sister on the Day of Cause cruise. I think it was, yes, I think it was Lisbon she was in. And I was like, she's not normally in Lisbon. I think I see something happening. And then I saw her on the cruise. Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The chances are pretty good worldwide. This movement is worldwide. Black women inside of the Exodus Summit community have now left the US or UK or Canada or wherever she lived and are now worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
You may, like, if you join our community, ExodusSummit.com/community, and you go in the sidebar, you can find somebody either where you are moving to or where you do live, where you're going, where you're visiting. You can find somebody. This makes it a whole lot easier to not feel like a total, like alone, not to not feel totally alone in a new place. It's a wonderful thing about this community.
Mm-hmm.
They're everywhere. We everywhere.
Yolanda from Locating Cozy met an Exodus sister her first time in Mexico on her way to a pet sit, was in the Puerto Vallarta airport. Mm-hmm. Not every Black woman getting on a plane is an Exodus Summit sister, but they could be.
Yes.
They could be. Whether you turn them into it or they already are that, you could do it. Yes.
Yes. That's right. That's right. Okay. So so another plug. So just come to the meetups come to the meetup close to where you are. Introverts, you're welcome. The extroverts, they're ready. Okay. The gassed up, or they're going to get gassed up at the meetup. The extroverts, they're going to get fueled by talking. They're going to fill up their tanks at this meetup. If that's not you, if you're the introvert, let them, just be there. They'll do it. They'll do the work.
Wait, did I tell you that during the meetup, Halisi made a comment about let's make sure we take a group photo before the first person calls their Uber. And then she stared me in the face. Stared me down.
She know.
Now, was I the first person to call an Uber?
She know.
We had done the group photo already. It was fine.
Okay. She know.
Yes, the introvert I have done my extroverting for the next month. Thank you very much. Uber is outside. Adele said, "What's she wrong?" Meanwhile, she called her Uber right after me. No, I never mind breaking the seal. I never mind being the first one to be like, "This was lovely."
Well, she'd have made me go to an expensive restaurant and then just got up and left and went home. Went to her room on that cruise.
You were with 6 other people.
We need to go have this experience.
I was not. The food was too rich for my blood. That never happens. The food had me like, oh my God. I needed some enzymes to make this work.
Now we just
my Uber, my feet took me back to my room immediately. Y'all got this. Y'all enjoy your meal.
Excuse me.
It was somebody's birthday. It was the birthday dinner, and it wasn't my birthday. I've done my job. You are together. You are meeting. Oh, wait. Pause. Sidebar.
Okay.
Done your job. I have a very important rule about meetups. You have not attended a meetup. You might have shown up in person, but you weren't really in attendance unless you left with the contact information for another Black woman. If you attend an Exodus Summit meetup, we need photos, and you need to share the photos with us. Whether that's one of you in the group doing it or everybody in the group doing it, we need the photos, right? You can share them in our Heartbeat app. 2, you need to get the contact information of one new person, even if you have 70 friends in town, one new person. And then I'm speaking to myself here. You need to actually use this contact information. You need to get contact information of one new person, and you need to use the contact information in the next week. That is what
ask you for a deadline.
That's what you have to do in order to have attended an Exodus Summit meetup. If you leave without a new person's contact information, I'm gonna delete you from the photos. I'm a Photoshop. You show me a great fuzzy face, a little smile, a smiling emoji. You need to get someone else's contact information. You need to use it. Y'all don't have to be best friends forever, but being in community means being in community, right? It means having people who can lean on you, having people you can lean on, and having people you're like, I don't really like her, but if something were to happen, I would want to be able to let her know. I don't really like her, but she makes the best cakes and pies, so I'll swing through, right? I'm gonna come buy something. But we're not saying you need to have these new best friends. We're saying your community expands when you let it, and that's really important. I'm saying this for all the extroverts. I know
they got that coming.
Don't worry about this, but the introverts, this is my thing for you. You have to get someone else's contact information. You have to use it. All right.
Doing good? That's the rules.
It's the rules. It's the rules. Ain't no matter. Ask Kyoka how she had her new move abroad friends. Because at that London meetup, I was like, "You're not." She was like, "I'm so shy. I'm just a girl." And I was like, "That's cool. I need to see somebody's info in your phone. A new WhatsApp, a new Instagram that you're following, and you're communicating in the messages. You're not leaving her." And all of a sudden, she got good friends. She traveling around the world, doing stuff and seeing around the world.
Going to the swimming that she went to the retreat to learn how to swim with the women from the summit.
Yes, it works if you work it.
It works if you work it. That's right. Annabella, thank you very much for that super chat. We'll put that towards the sabbatical. No, we'll put that towards the Exodus Summit
tickets.
Whatever. I don't want to talk about it. Thank you, Annabella. Thank you. Right on the money. Already has her ticket to Exodus Summit 2025 and wants to buy a ticket to another person. When you want to gift a ticket to a specific person and not just put it into this pool of cash, it's easy. You go to ExodusSummit.com. In the top right corner, you click on the drop-down menu and you click on Manage Tickets, I believe. And that's how you transfer a ticket. So you have to buy the second ticket, right? Buy the second ticket. Or you can transfer the first one and then buy your, whichever. Buy the other ticket, be logged in, and then transfer that ticket. We've seen it working. It's a system that works that we didn't know even existed until a couple of days ago. But top right corner, ExodusSummit.com, top right corner, manage ticket, and then you'll see a thing that says transfer this ticket. You need to know the other person's name and email address, and that's how you transfer a ticket to a specific person. Because ticket prices go up on October 10th, because ticket prices go up on October 10th, we also sent you an email about upgrading your ticket. If you have a weekend pass, you want to upgrade to the all access pass or even the accelerator bundle, your coupon is in your inbox. Look for an email that says, here's how to upgrade, or look for an email that says upgrade. Search the word upgrade in your inbox and you'll see that email has been sent out to you a time or two. Okay, might be quite a few times, but a time or two. Or you can go to the menu again. You can go to the ExodusSummit.com menu and you should be able to find your ticket and your coupon to upgrade in the drop-down menu as well.
Okay, Lee says she went to Panama this summer and had a wonderful time with a sister I met at the Cape Town meetup who now lives in Panama. Lovely. This is what happens when you go to meetups. Whether they're official ticketed meetups, which we don't do anymore, or meetups like this, which like we said, if you're in Cape Town and you want to meet other women in Cape Town, you can plan a Cape Town meetup and just see who shows up. A casual, let's meet at that chocolate shop that everybody loves, right? Let's meet at the chocolate shop and hang out, get some hot chocolate, sit in the back, eat some cocoa, whatever. Have a great time. Or you can meet us in Brazil next year. Details coming in the future after a summit. Give us some time. Right? Is that the I agree face? Okay. All right.
Yep. Okay, friends.
Real quick,
Yeah.
Flutterby, PNW. I don't know who you are in ASAP. I've never connected your, and I'm not asking now. You don't tell us now. I can never connect your actual government name with your YouTube name. But she says, need to refine your plan. ASAP was very helpful for me. What we haven't really been talking about a lot, and women will see on the Exodus Summit site is the Accelerator Bundle. And that is a bundle that gets you the all access pass and 3 months inside of Exodus ASAP.
Yes.
Ooh. And I can tell you what we're talking about in Exodus ASAP for the next few months.
Yeah.
Time for that?
Sure. I got time. Yeah.
Okay.
So Exodus ASAP is our membership coaching community. That is a third thing. So we've talked about exodussummit.com/community, our community. It's like a Facebook group, but it's not on Facebook anymore. We've talked about the Exodus Summit, the virtual summit that's happening October 10th through 13th. We also have a coaching community. It's a monthly membership coaching community called Exodus ASAP. So some of you have been like, this year, all the sessions are on money. How do I learn how to get my residency? How do I learn how to do this? How do I learn how to do that? All of that is happening inside of the Exodus ASAP membership. We coach, Roshida and I coach together individually, and we bring in other women to do some coaching. So Rashida's going to tell you about some things that are coming up inside of the Exodus ASAP membership. And this is important to keep your ears on because some of you are going to want to join. You're going to want to get that bundle because the summit is going to help you with your move abroad money, but the rest of your move abroad plan needs some progress as well.
Okay. So what Stephanie said is right. And in normal months, we do all kinds of coaching around the Peace Out protocol, what to do with your stuff, what to do with your pets, what to do with all the issues you have, all the 8 things categories we've defined that you might need help in your move abroad. However, post-summit, we wanted to add some additional money-making avenues for you in the coaching. So we're going to stick with money for a little bit. The other content and the other categories is still there, so you can watch it whenever you want.
Yes.
But the live coaching we're doing in October and November is about other ways you can make money that we didn't have a chance to cover in the summit because more money is almost always better than less money unless you've reached, hoarding phase. All right. So first up on October 9th, we have Monique Fortenberry, who was a member of our community for a while, talking to Black women who work for the federal government who've lost their jobs about creating your life after federal service. And that includes getting another job.
Yep.
So if you are someone who worked for the feds, lost your job, she's going to talk about activating your network, taking action, what you should and should not be doing online in order to make yourself more attractive to employers as in your post-Fed life. And then really like being in community with other women who are in the same position. So honoring the transition space you're in, et cetera. After that, we have Juanita Lewis, who created a food incubator in Ghana. This is from the top of my head. I'm pretty sure I'm right about this. Trust me. She created a food incubator in Ghana and has experience doing business there that if you want to open a business in Africa or specifically in Ghana, I think you'll be able to get a lot of information from. Mm-hmm. The week after that, we have someone coming in to talk to you about Samantha Gregory coming in to talk to you about licensing, how to license the information you know in a way that makes it sellable and shareable. So licensing is a way that you can make money that I actually don't know a lot about. So I'm excited to hear this talk. Next, we have LaTrenta Smith coming to talk to us about Lunch and Learns and how to use LinkedIn, which we're going to spend some time in during the summit. How to use LinkedIn to grow your business, even if you're not looking for a job, right? LaTrenta has a method that she uses to get customers from LinkedIn to her freelance/consulting business. And she's going to show you how to get clients from LinkedIn.
Yes.
After that, we have someone who is a successful wine importer talking to us about the import business they're excited about that, right?
Yeah.
Because if in a lot of the countries you're going to move to, you're going to think about, I know people in here in Mexico who do it, who are like, hey, I could sell a lot of X if I could get it in. So we're going to talk about how to do that, how to import. And then we have a secret shopper coming the weekend of November 20th, who's going to talk about how do you secret shopping to reduce your current expenses so that you have more money to put aside for your move and to make a little bit of change also while doing it. She does all kinds of secret shopping, luxury vacations in places, and then dinners in the town she lives in so that she ain't got to pay for food, right? I think this is going to be a great session for someone who wants to start on the ground. Doesn't necessarily it needs attention to detail, but you don't need to be a chef in order to tell a restaurant, give them feedback on the experience, right? The last week in November, we usually do our coaching on Thursday. This week, our coaching is going to be on Monday because Amina says she's not missing Thanksgiving dinner to host this.
Oh, that's right.
I was like, why is it scheduled for Monday? She said, it's Thanksgiving. And I was like, I'm used to things happening a certain way. And she was like, no, not this week. All right. So this Monday, although this is the week we launched this program last year. We launched it on Thanksgiving Day last year. Friend of the community and in the community and the host of Black Expat Stories. If you're on our Instagrams, you've seen her sharing a podcast we did with her. It came out last week. And she's going to talk about turning your art into income abroad. She's working on the podcast and she has a book coming out, and she's going to talk about creative current, like how to make money creatively when you're living abroad. And these are the talks coming up in October and November. I know I ran through them really, really quickly. There will be written information coming out about them soon.
Yes.
Probably emails too. But if any of those sound good for you, and you want accountability groups, and you want a built-in community, and you want a course that will show you how to move your way through the 8-step peace out protocol, the accelerator bundle is such a good choice for you because you get a discount.
That's right.
And it's going to go away in a week, I think. So
That's right. That's right. So you have an email, excuse me, with the word upgrade in with upgrade in the subject line for those of you who have some ticket to Exodus Summit and want to figure out how to upgrade your ticket to Exodus Summit. Okay. Because prices go up on the 10th. You can still upgrade. Probably. You can still upgrade during the summit. Yes, we know that. You can still upgrade, but the price will be mucho más. Okay. The bonus salons are set up according to the sessions. So if you have the all access pass, and which includes the bundle includes the all access pass. If you have that for Exodus Summit 2025, there are small breakout rooms or salons that are going to be happening over on Zoom during the happy hour periods. Happy hours and salons are the same time, okay? But you can go and meet and, talk with people who are interested in the same conversation that you just had in the summit, right? So I know the last day, Arlen Hamilton's session is on Monday. Terry Igioma's trade. So the session on memberships, the session on trading, those sessions are happening on Monday. So the salons that are happening on Monday are around trading, around what I just said, memberships, right? The salons for that day are the sessions that happened earlier that day. Is that clear? The salons, I sent an email, just went out to the all access pass holders today about that as well. So salons for that day are broken up according to the sessions for that day. Okay.
So on the first day, I think the first day we're doing creating a premium online course, right? So the salon for that day, one of the salons for that day is going to cover that topic. So women who are interested in digging deeper, maybe creating an accountability group around that, maybe getting more resources around that and shared resources around that can get in community and do that together or start their plan to do that together.
That's right. My session on YouTube as a marketing strategy, I believe, is on day 1. So there will be salons for that as well, right? So the things that When you look at the schedule today for the summit and you look at the sessions that are being taught, there's a salon for that session or multiple. Some of them are going to be big. So some of them will have several salons. You just pick the one with the least amount of people, right? That's how I would do it. But they're based on what happened that day. If the session is after the salons, right? If it's the Teach Abroad panel, that salon actually happens the next day. Exodus After Dark, one of the women guessed when we said, guess what session is happening that y'all demanded? She was like, feet pics. Well, we do have an OnlyFans session. We do have a session on OnlyFans. That salon happens the next day. Y'all understand this. I think, if not, we'll send a few more emails. This email today was brief. I just got it out. And it was not everyone with it. I shouldn't have said that because not everyone with the All Access Pass got it. Some people got it because it was about hosting a salon, and I shouldn't have said this on the internet. Okay, but some of you got an email asking if you wanted to host a salon. Salons are not recorded. It's a get-together, 90-minute get-together, which means you could technically do a happy hour and a salon. Mm-hmm. It's 90 minutes. You may want to start with one and finish with the other.
Yeah. Francesca asks about are helpful tips for communicating well in salon. In other words, if there are a couple hundred people in a breakout room, how does that happen? There should not be a couple hundred people in a breakout room. We have multiple. I know in the past we've had larger ones. I don't know that we've ever had a couple hundred, but we only have a couple topics this year, and we're trying to have multiple rooms for each salon. I think your bigger issue may be, how do I select which one of these to go to? You just gotta flip a coin and just pick one and go there.
Just pick.
Right.
Yeah. I think it was 2023. We did have a lot. Some rooms had lots and lots of people. I think we did a better job last year, and hopefully we'll do a better job this year of keeping them small, of opening up another room for that same topic if that room got too big. We're navigating this. We have a team, we got a team. The Exodus Summit Squad will navigate that to make sure that the rooms don't get too big. Breaking off a new room. If there's too many, if there's enough in that room, move the next group, move more people into another room, another salon. Mm-hmm. We want to keep it small. So yeah, there'll be a salon or multiple salons on Teaching Abroad. That will probably be divided up. There'll probably be a salon or some salons for teachers already, for people who already work in education. And there'll probably be a second salon for the TEFL pathway to Teaching Abroad. Teaching Abroad has multiple pathways. One is I'm already a teacher. One is I'm a native English speaker, and I'm going to take my teaching English as a foreign language certification and become an English teacher abroad. They're two different things. Inside of the same panel, we're going to cover that topic in one panel, but there'll be multiple salons.
You should not expect the speakers from the talks to be in these salons. We have not asked them to. We're not compensating them for them to show up. If they want to show up, they will. But that would be, I will not be at the salon covering how much does it cost, because y'all gonna be in there grilling me when I need to be eating some barbecue and regulating my nervous system for talking for 4 days, right? So you shouldn't expect anybody else to be there. This is a very self-led effort.
That's
you
right.
guys have to be there and take the initiative and make your plans.
That's right. That's right. This is where you're going to meet some other people who are interested in this thing and decide if y'all want to keep getting together. Right? That's our goal for you in the salons. Meet some other people who are interested in this topic and are interested in this pathway, and figure out, do we want to get together again? Right?
Salons are not recorded. There's a very good chance, because you don't want to say something and then here go your sister-in-law who you hate, and now she's watching the recording. You didn't know she was in the room. Like, we don't do that, right? The people who are there live get to hear what you say live. Mm-hmm. But there's a good chance of, no guarantees, but there's a good chance that people will report back within the Heartbeat community, our private community. They'll report back and say, we started an accountability group about X, right? There's a good chance of that, but you will not be able to watch the replays of the salons.
No, that's right. Yeah, but that's a thing that happens more often than not. After the accountability group is set up, they come into the community and say, here's how you can join it if you want to. Mm-hmm. We're not a gatekeepy group of people. And so things that we do are not to gatekeep. We want you to have access to things. Also, if you attend a salon and you just want to pull out, two people just want to pull themselves out of that and be accountability buddies just one-on-one, you can do that. You don't need to be in a big group. This is, like Roshida said, this is self-led. You do what you need to do. So if you go in there and you see somebody and y'all have been chatting anyway during the session, you know, you're like, I like her, or she's like, I like you. Y'all can become accountabilities just one-on-one. You don't have to stay in a big accountability group, but the difference maker, Roshida and I get to go around the world and run into Exodus Summit women who are around the world, who have gotten there through the Exodus Summit community. And the difference maker, the thing that they all have in common is they attended a summit, right? And they have an accountability buddy or a partner or friend or community. They have somebody who's keeping them going, somebody who can, you know what accountability buddies are. That's the common thing. That's the commonality. Wherever we go and we bump into somebody who has actually made their exodus, that's the difference maker.
Okay, so accountability buddies, salons not recorded. Happy hours are going to be lovely. They're going to help regulate your nervous system.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw someone ask how long the sessions are. Most sessions are an hour. The evening sessions are an hour and a half. So the keynote, the teacher panel, and our Exodus After Dark session are 90 minutes. Everything else, except for the salons and the breakfast and those things, are going to be approximately an hour.
If you have your ticket to Exodus Summit 2025, you don't need to register for any individual sessions. You can go back and star them or put them on your calendar. That means you're going to get an extra email or an extra notification before that session happens. Most of y'all just come all day, right? But if you want to, Auntie Eva, you can go back into ExodusSummit.com, log back in, and look at the schedule, and it lets you select which sessions you want to specifically put on your calendar. But you don't have to do that. With the ticket, you're registered. With the ticket, you're registered, including the bonus workshops. We have one bonus workshop listed already, a country matchmaking workshop, and we are scheduling another bonus workshop.
Do we want to announce what it's not scheduled as far as I know. I don't know, but I'm sure of a contract is signed. So do you want to announce it? Let me hold on a second. Give me a second. Give me a second just to make sure.
Okay.
Give me a second. I'm pretty sure we can announce it.
Good. So you don't have to register for anything. Okay, go ahead and do that. Okay. Yeah, you don't have to specifically register for anything. Your ticket gives you access. But if you want reminders, you can go to ExodusSummit.com, click on schedule, and then it lets you click on sessions that you want an actual reminder for. Benita says, what about for retirees? If you look at the schedule and you see a session at ExodusSummit.com and you see a session that you are into, come. If you have enough money to live out your life in your new country, congratulations. We are excited for you. Okay. There are still some sessions in Exodus Summit that will be helpful for you. I think the taxes, Makara's doing a session on, so we have one session on being a tax preparer, but that's not what I'm talking about. There is a session on expat taxes, right? Taxes for expats. Roshida's session on doing the math. What is your move abroad? Do you know your numbers? Rashida's session on how to calculate how much you need in a new place. That will be helpful for you. Adelia's session on putting your money to work for you. Get some dividends from your dollars. Those are sessions that even if you don't need to make another dollar, are still going to be helpful for you inside of Exodus Summit 2025. And each one of those on its own is worth a ticket price.
So I see that you announced it in email, but no, there's no that I can find.
Oh, I thought y'all told me yesterday in the meeting.
I wouldn't have told you that because I would not have known that because I never looked it up.
I asked because I had already drafted the email.
I thought so too. I thought so, but I don't. If we have it, I can't find it in our inbox.
Okay. All right. Well, be prepared. Be prepared for a change.
Another announcement
in the workshops. Be prepared for the workshops to change. But right now, there is a workshop listed on the website And there are 2 workshops listed on the email. One of them may or may not happen. We may retract some things. Okay.
It's going to happen. We just
It's going to
haven't all the details yet.
Yeah, I wrote, because I had already drafted the email and I asked yesterday. Okay.
I don't see a contract.
Okay. All right. So I know we've talked about things in different places. So let's rehash a little, like recap. I like a good recap. Today is International Exodus Summit Meetup Day, and Black women from the Exodus Summit community are meeting up all over the world. And it's not too late to join. Okay. If you join the community, which is not the Facebook group, we left Facebook. If you join us at exodussummit.com/community, you're welcome to come to a meetup near you. Roshida read off 30 something meetups, and then Amina's been adding them as we've been talking.
I started with 35 and others have been added, including Chicago, while we've been talking.
So chances are, if you live in a major city in the United States, there's a meetup of Black women happening near you. Dover, Delaware is actually having a meetup. It doesn't even have to be a major city. But if you live in a major city, there's a meetup. Some cities have 2. I think we said St. Louis had 2 meetups today, right? If you want to meet some Black women from the Exodus Summit community, come to the meetups, okay? That's internationally, they're happening today. But meetups happen all the time in our community. This is a special day, but meetups happen all the time inside of Exodus Summit. So join us there inside of the Exodus Summit community. That is exodussummit.com/community. The link is in the description of this video. If you're watching on TV, you can still pick up your phone, go to YouTube, and look in the description of this video, and you'll see the links, okay? Now, that is today. Next week is Exodus Summit 2025, More Move Abroad Money. Exodus Summit 2025 kicks off Friday evening, Eastern Time in the US, and Black women who are experts at making money are coming to teach you how to make money that way.
Mm-hmm.
Who's invited to Exodus Summit, Roshida?
Black women.
Okay.
The other day someone was like, so Black men can't show up? And I'm like, if they buy a ticket and don't say something, I don't know they're there, I can't stop them. And they were like, so they can't show up as themselves. You could put whatever bow on it you want to. It's Black women. It's Black women because Black women so rarely have safe spaces in order to dream, right? The last people allowed on earth to dream, Black women, Black girls, right? You're not allowed to want more. You're not allowed to be more. If you want more, it's too much.
Yeah.
Right?
That's right.
This is a safe space for you to plan something that requires you being unconventional. And your entire life, you've been told there's no room for you to be unconventional.
Mm-hmm.
Black women.
Black women.
If you are not a Black woman and you're in the summit, don't come to these breakout rooms. Don't come to the breakout rooms.
Don't come to the Zoom at all. No, not that. Okay.
Don't come to a Zoom session. We will put you out.
We will.
You've heard us say. The other thing I said was, well, when you say it's for Black women, I don't really hear, but it's only for Black women. Oh. It's only for Black women. Now, if you think it could be helpful and you want the information, you buy a ticket and you don't say nothing, how would I know? Mm-hmm. We're not policing at the door, right? We are not. There's no brown paper bag test. There's no general check. Listen, we don't.
Okay, if you're not a Black woman and you've already bought a ticket for Exodus Summit, you should also buy a ticket for a Black woman. But Exodus Summit is only for Black women. That's right. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then Andrea buying her sister a ticket. Her sister just left visiting her and Jean in Portugal. And she's like, I get it now. This is one of the reasons we do international meetups, right? Sometimes you just have to get in the room, get in the water. Sometimes you just need to get in the water. And then you're like, I get it. Okay. And then the third thing that we've talked about is Exodus ASAP membership. Some of the things that Roshida read off just a little while ago are events, sessions happening in the Exodus ASAP membership, including the mystery shopping session, the importing and exporting from Africa, exporting session, the
creating a business in Africa session, the food incubator, the LinkedIn session, the licensing of the information you have in your brain,
Intellectual property licensing, yes.
lunch and learns, and how to sell your art,
And
how to
selling
turn
art.
your art into cash. Some of y'all are artists and y'all sitting on it. Don't do that.
Yes, it's money. It's worth money. And so those are things that are happening in Exodus ASAP, which is our monthly membership, recurring monthly membership. Okay, so we've talked about 3 different places for you to be. ExodusSummit.com/community. That's the community. $1. Okay. ExodusSummit.com is our conference. It's our online summit. Starts Friday evening. Be there. You're going to want to be there because Black women so far, 1,600 and some Black women have raised their hand and said, I want to make more money for my move abroad. You don't want to be left behind. Okay. You don't want to be left behind. And then the membership, if you want to work on more things, the Exodus Summit, the Exodus ASAP membership. We've talked 3 things. I hope we've been very clear for you. Start, if you're still not clear, start in the community, ExodusSummit.com/community. And you can get more information on everything inside of there. Okay, I gotta go because I gotta iron my pants for my meetup. I know, can you believe it?
Hop in the shower, turn that steam on, girl. What you doing?
That linen, I'm wearing our color. I'm gonna wear.
Wait, you got an iron. You showed us your irons, the iron section the other day and said it might be time. You have an iron. You got curtains. Wait, are your curtains up?
My curtains fell down. So my curtain rod, I couldn't secure it into the wall properly. I think I may have to have a man come into the apartment and do it. What do they call maintenance man?
Yes.
Because I couldn't secure my curtain rod. I couldn't secure the thing to the wall. My walls are kind of like cement or something. So they fell down. I had them up, but they fell down.
All right.
I'm nesting like a mug. So yeah, I got iron my pants.
I have some time. I'll be in the inbox.
Okay.
Y'all email us hot and heavy for a little while, and then I'm gonna go meet up with my people.
Thank you.
CK, real quick question says, what about venture capital investments in Black startups? Arlen Hamilton, who is the godmother of Black venture capitalists, is coming. You want to ask her a question I don't understand? I'll read it. Listen. Listen, ask the question. She's talking about memberships, but she is a venture capitalist. So,
That's right. So this is Adelia. We had a wonderful conversation on Adelia's channel yesterday. If you're going to miss us when we go to Adelia's channel. It's Picky Girl Travels the World. And we had a wonderful conversation with her yesterday. And she was like, this ticket price is low because when could you get in the room with these women for right now? The lowest price ticket is $109. When do you get in the room with Rachel Rogers and Arlen Hamilton and Terry Ijeoma and Dasha, the broke Black girl? When do you get in the room with all of these women for $109? You're not.
And you can be in your drawers, right? You ain't even got to travel nowhere and do nothing and pay for a hotel and do the.
Okay.
Ticket price 4 times higher. But
use an advantage to your advantage. Okay. Exodus Summit is an advantage. Roshida and I put this thing together. Roshida and I created this thing, and we and our team put this thing together for you, to give you, Black woman, an advantage. Now, Roshida just said other people want to come. They want to come because they see the value in it. Use this advantage for yourself, right? Because this doesn't happen. This is not a thing that other people have in the world. Exodus Summit is one of one. Well, I guess nomad capitalists, they do something.
They don't do this.
They don't do this.
They don't do this. Don't put too much on it. They don't do this.
We're one of one. Use this to your advantage. If you're a Black woman, you have a significant move abroad advantage. That advantage is Exodus Summit. You have us and our team, our speakers, our women, our community on your side. Get in the water, friends. Okay, get in the water.
I'm gonna be on YouTube Music looking for the song now. Get in the water. I don't
know. In the air, do the. You gotta get a go-go beat in your head. Okay.
Oh, listen, okay. I'm looking it up right now.
Guess what, friends? This ain't the water.
Is it Get in the Water or the Water Dance?
I don't know. I think it's called the
Get in the
water.
Water came up real quick.
Bring your hands in the air, do the water dance. Yeah. Guess what, man? This ain't the water.
I can't press play because it's gonna be all in your thingy.
Yeah. Okay, we're done. We're done for the day. Thank you. Thank you, friends, for hanging
DJ
out.
Flex, y'all be knowing stuff.
Yes. You'll know. I think you'll probably recognize because you're not all that much. Rashida's younger, but you were also on the East Coast in the 90s. You've heard it.
I was not on the East Coast in the 90s. I was in the East Coast in the 2000s.
Oh, then you
So
probably.
that might be, that might be. I got it now. I got the water dance.
Okay.
I got it.
Okay. All right. I hope you let it flow over you and through you.
Over and through me. I'm gonna be sliding in today's meetup in a go-go beat.
You big little go-go,
huh? Yes. All right, y'all.
Thank you for joining. Thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me, Stephanie. And y'all, we will see you next week. This time, we're gonna be saying words and listening to. Wait a minute, real quick.
Okay, I'm with you.
Next week, this time, we are going to. It's what time? It's 10:30 my time. So at 10:30 my time, we're going to be starting the session with Portia Obeng talking about how to make your LinkedIn stand out from everybody else's. So when those recruiters cannot skip past you like they skip past me and I had to go get a job. I had to go get my job. It's not going to happen. Recruiters are going to be like, oh, she's the one. She's the one.
This time next week. And those of you who are not looking for a job, you don't want the recruiter's attention, but you want clients' attention. This is a session. This time next week, you're going to be taking notes, furiously taking notes, and having breakthroughs. This time next week.
Yes, that would be 12:30 Eastern time.
Yeah, when you go to ExodUSSummit.com, the times should be listed in whatever time zone your computer thinks it is, okay? Whatever time zone your computer thinks it's in, that's what time the schedule is listed.
Yes.
That's why the women in Bangkok are like 4 a.m.
Now, sometimes look at the schedule. Sometimes if you're in another country, your computer might not give you the exact right time. But we will have a calendar each day that tells you the time in Eastern time, so you can double check it. Basically, the summit starts every day at 9:30 Eastern time, and just hang out with us all day until 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. 9:30 a.m. Eastern time to 8:30 p.m. Eastern time is the schedule. Rock with us. You won't miss anything if you do that. And if you miss anything, you have replays for at least until October 1st. Nope, November 1st or October 31st.
Through October 31st or until November 1st.
Through October 31st, 2025 at the minimum. Some of you will have 3 weeks of replay. Some of you 2-3 weeks of replay. Some of you will have a month, a year of replay, almost a full year of replay. So as a reminder, if you have 2024 access, your access is going away.
It's gone.
Your access is gone.
We're in October.
It's October. Yeah. I was gonna say, I still think it's September. Your access is gone.
You wish.
That cannot be fixed. It's done. So for this 10 days until the next summit comes, listen to Tony Jones' affirmations.
On to the next, right? We're on to the next one. Amina says y'all are joining the community. Okay, Amina's one of our team members. So she says y'all are joining the community. So some of you will see you in some meetups. Share some pictures, take some pictures, take some video, share it with us. Okay, we want to be able to listen. We want to be able to brag online about what this community has done and how this community has come together. So take some pictures and some videos, please, and share it with us in the community.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Happy day.
I will talk to you later.
Bye.